And now we are in 1988. Welcome back, everyone, for the third season of the 80s version of the Twilight Zone. And again, I apologize for these episodes being out of order broadcast-wise. This is just how my DVD is set up. It just has this order on the discs, and that's the one we're going to go with. So the first episode, even though it's not the first episode of the third season, is Extra Innings, which is a baseball episode and stars Mark Singer as Ed Hammer. And Mark Singer was, of course, incredibly popular at this point because he had just done V, which got a remake, at which he got to star in a single episode, the very last one. Oh, well. It's about a washed-up baseball player from an injury, and he is struggling with all kinds of things, and there's this moment in the episode where you're not actually told how much trouble he is in, but he is sleeping on the couch, which I thought was a very sort of telling moment that this is how you signal that you're in trouble. He's sleeping on the couch. There's a lovely split screen as he walks into the 78 years into the past here, and the split screen is cleverly hidden with this light. It makes perfect sense that it would look like that, and it hides it very, very well. It's a good effect for what they wanted to do. And the second time that you see the card moving, in particular, you can see that when it detaches from the wall, there's a shake to it, but when they cut back from the people watching, it's still. And that's because the first shot it's done with a camera onto the wall, whereas the second is a still of the wall. So there's no need for camera tracking to go awry like that. I find it interesting that time moves at the same rate, both in 1918 and or 1910 and in 1988. So he worries about spending too much time playing the game because that will affect when he comes back out of the card in 1988. The national baseball stuff was actually happening during World War One. They had a shorter season for some of it, and that is reflected on his card when it fills out. Hi, Cat. Because all of a sudden it goes all the way to 1921. So he played consistently through the war. So it looks like that for a split second. The second episode is The Trunk. Now, this it's kind of a lovely story. I do enjoy it a lot. And it starts off with him finding the empty trunk and saying, I wish I had a nickel for every piece of luggage left in this old hotel. Now, when he opens it, it's of course packed with money. He only counts it to 110. I think that unless there's a balloon in this that the money is resting on, there will be so much more money than $110. But even at $110, that's still 2,200 pieces of luggage, which is a lot, right? So I guess the wish makes sense thematically, but I would have gone for him finding, $20. That'd be 400 pieces of luggage. That would make sense. Oh well. But his positivity is lovely when he gets stuff from the trunk, and he says thank you to the trunk, and he's like, oh, cool, root beer. It's not like he's going, yes, and I can do whatever I want. But he's just very grateful and happy about it, and I do enjoy that attitude. I mean, of course, he can't take anything out of the trunk that's bigger than the trunk, so the TV is kind of small. It's not like he could get a big screen TV or a car out of there. You can get the deed to a car, I guess, the keys, but that'd be it. He's naive. He says all the time, like, I don't understand what you mean, but he's not naive in a destructive way. The moment that she goes, you can just buy me a nice place to live and you can come over to visit, and he goes, nah, not into that. That makes sense. When the party wraps up and everyone is heading out and he just tells them to take stuff, someone just grabs that oven, and it isn't attached. They just kind of left it and walk away. If it had been attached to the wall, there would have been something there, but they just kind of walk off with it. It's not a very useful oven. I guess it's new though. I guess he could have just gotten it. And then you have this lovely frog-mounted camera when the big bad Danny is looking down. He has his own name tattooed on his arm. He's looking down into the trunk, and you have this lovely shot, which is a frog angle, which I enjoy. And then he gets locked in the trunk, which I thought was very mean of the trunk to lock him in there. But then, of course, it's just because the trunk knows better. And whoever gets the trunk and easily carries it upstairs, even though it's locked, they just like, I'll keep a trunk, it's fine. And it turns out that she's just about to wish for just a guy like him. So that works out. And that's the end of the first commentary here. And next week we are... Does anyone have a doll's head with blonde hair? I think I need one. Hold on.